It's not really so much a news topic. It's more the fact that John's been playing some games which we may not be able to cover on the channel in ultra depth, maybe a bit later on. But you're having fun with them now. I want to talk about them, right, John?
Yeah, that's right. So first shout out, first thing I wanted to mention was the Ion Fury add-on pack Aftershock. Just because I freaking love build engine style games, and this is that. I love the original, and this one is essentially more of that, but with some other new fresh ideas as well, some new enemies and all kinds of stuff like that. It's just an expansion pack in the old school way, right? Like that used to be the thing back in the day, is like you have a great shooter, you're gonna get an expansion pack. Death Kings of the Dark Citadel for like Hexen. There was, the Serpent Riders for Heretic. Doom, of course, had
Final Doom is basically an expansion
Final
pack.
Doom, and I would argue Doom 2 is almost like its own level pack in a way, even though it is called Doom 2. You could argue Duke had some add-ons. It's that kind of thing. But the new music is fantastic. It's pounding. It still looks great. It still feels great. It's just got this snappy awesomeness to it that you only get with these 2D sprite-based shooters. But one of my favorite things in there is early on in the mall area, the shopping area, they actually have a store in there. It's basically like a place for buying build engine stuff. So the game runs on the build engine, and there's something called the Build Mega Store. And you wander on in there, and you start to notice, like, wait, they're like selling. So you got the texture area where they have like stacks of just like these flat plates designed to look like textures for a game, available in 255 exciting palette variations, it says. In the back, they've got the mega sale, half price on all Type 20 and Type 21 doors. And you can just press the switches and toggle the doors and play with them. And it's just like, okay, that's funny. They've got a prop section with like chairs, trash cans, a bucket, just stuff just sitting in the middle. A lot of them actually use voxels, so they look really cool. They've got the effects section where you can press a button that just says instant quake and it just shakes the whole screen. They've got an enemy spawner thing there.
Oh my God.
You press the button and enemy spawns. They have a gift section with like t-shirts and stuff all in the build engine. Just details like that I thought were really cute and fun and kind of a love letter to that sort of era. They also have a hardware, etc. instead of software, etc. And in there they were selling the bitchin' fast 3D2 graphics card with 16x AGP power and a ridiculous, stupid looking box art. Because why not?
Yeah, I don't know how many of the audience actually knows what the Vision Pass 3D is.
Oh gosh, if you don't know what it is, just go look it up, and you're gonna go down a rabbit hole. It's quite something. But they've got a button where you can test it. I think it's something like like lame or cool, and you're just like pressing that to like toggle the different things. They're advertising a sound card called the Ecstasy sound, of course. Like, it's just a total riff on 90s PC peripherals and the packaging that they came in. I appreciate that stuff. So,
very cute.
That's kind of it. It's more of that game. It's great new content. There's vehicle stuff. That's cool. Great puzzles, good combat loop, and lots of funny things to see like that. Lots of throwbacks, posters, just stuff everywhere that you're just like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. So,
nice.
I recommend it.
Okay. And Heavy Metal Thunder, what's that all about? Because
I just wanted
you put on the notes, because holy crap.
So I discovered this game in Japan. It's a PS2 game, right? I got it very cheap. It's Square Enix, from the makers of Wild Arms at Mediavision. And it's a game about robot wrestling. I'm gonna insert this clip in here. Oliver, cue the clip.
Don't stop the 戦い It's Heavy Metal Thunder ゲームの歴史がある意味塗り替えられる不器用なままじゃ生きてゆけない I believe in heavy metal power クソ真面目な敵じゃないか足りない I believe in heavy metal power 退屈な夜にお前を呼ぶ声危険な音に見つめて Heavy metal thunder Heavy metal thunder
Just the intro alone, this kind of gives you this feeling of, oh, this is going to be something weird, and it is. it's a story driven experience about a guy who's growing up in like a future Japan, who's like wanting to become like the world's strongest like robot wrestler competitor. And like on his birthday, he's celebrating at this place. His dad pops out in a very weird way and basically gives him his first robot, which he then starts to turn into a robot wrestler. And they have all these like famous announcers. They've got like awesome music in there. They got like the Sex Machine Guns doing the soundtrack, which is a Japanese like 80s like way over the top kind of metal band. Very silly songs they would sing. They've got what is it? They've got one of the guys from Megadeth does some performances on there. There's some solos from other famous guitarists in there. The production values of the cutscenes, like it bounces between like pure anime, it's got CGI, it's got live action video in there. They cut in like promos in there. It's just this mishmash of crazy high production values and just pure style. And then the game itself involves sort of like, it's kind of a turn-based almost, but pseudo rock paper shotgun kind of wrestling thing where you're like sort of reacting to your opponent. You can do grapples, you can do like attacks, you can block, you can do special moves, all this kind of stuff. And you're basically customizing your robot to survive these matches. And I don't know, this never got localized. I don't think I've heard anybody really in the West ever talk about it, but it's just like the whole presentation is so insane that I felt the need. I just had to talk about it because it's not the best game out there,
but it's just
I'm really enjoying the experience, and the presentation is just so phenomenal. It's so good. So yeah, it's dirt cheap if you see a copy. There's a pretty high language barrier, so if you can't read any Japanese, you're probably not going to have fun because of the way the menu system works.
Just don't know what's going on.
You just left that to last.
I'm sorry. I mean, it's one of those things where it goes with the all menu driven, and there's a lot. And if it just goes with the territory, and that's probably why you haven't heard much talking about it, I guess. But do check it out just for that. Also, even just like the manual cover, like you open it up and the manual is designed to look like an old like music, like heavy metal kind of magazine.
That's cool.
With all these features on there, and there's just so much personality in these things. I miss this kind of wild experimental era of Square. I feel like they would never do something like this ever now.
No.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So oh yeah, Michael Schenker is the German guitarist, also has a performance in there.
Okay.
So, okay, that's it. I'm done. Thanks for letting me talk a lot. I'm sorry to the listeners that were like, dude, just shut up. But there it is.
No, that's good, John.
That's the end of the news. Well, whatever
Pseudo.
What do you want to call it?